I think there's some hard skills and some soft skills. I always look for like curiosity. I'm always looking for people who are keen to dig in and just not accept the status quo. And whether that's, looking at CRM or looking at offers or looking at product, that kind of level of curiosity, I think is critical, because you need to be quite agile. Gone are the days where you build a program and then run it for 10 years and never change it. We're constantly changing the product, we're constantly changing offers. And so that curiosity leads you into test and learn. It leads you into, change essentially. So I think that's key skill. I think an element of financial understanding, but you need to understand where you're going to get incremental gains from, and you need to be able to measure incrementality. So many times I see people, they run stuff and they go, look how many sales this brought in. I still see these presentations getting presented at like board level meetings that we ran a campaign and we got 10 million of sales, tick. And it's like, but did you generate 1 million of those or 8 million of those? So that kind of just a bit of financial acumen at all levels, because when you're creating offers, one of the things we did really well on the DFS program, we had a great team there that really worked and sweated the offer. We looked at the offer value and how it would work to drive additional value. I mean, we had an example in beauty where we basically wanted to try and get the redemption threshold down to make it easier for newer buyers to redeem, but we didn't want to drop the whole threshold down because then we just get points leakage coming through. So we created a coupon that had a stretch on. That thing was self-funding. Wow. I mean, it was so good that people looked at it and goes, wow, I can use my points before I hit the points threshold. So they felt like they'd been unlocking some new value, but in there was a spend stretch offer to get them to spend more to unlock that value. So it was like, you get $10 on $100 spend. So you look at it and go, oh, I can now redeem for a $10 voucher, but I have to spend $100 to get it. And they spent a lot more than $100. Yeah. So it was a self-funding offer. You need that kind of financial acumen, I think, to do that. And then the final one, I think, for me would be, and I come back to the brand message. Brand is important. And I don't mean that in the sense of, developing brand assets and that kind of stuff, but everybody should be aware of the brand, because everything we do, whether you're designing the product or whether you're sending out comms or emails and push notifications, needs to be on brand. I look at some programs and they feel like a little bit messy to me, because I think sometimes they lose the brand messaging. Everything in the kitchen sink goes on there, and it starts to lose that message. The customer needs to feel something from the brand when they do something, and everything we do needs to lock back into that. Every part of the team needs to understand that the brand and what we're trying to communicate and what we stand for, the reason why we exist, has to be embedded in all areas of the organization. Those three things, I think you're good.